Ya. ¿Cómo lo has hecho, Pedro?
And other people say, how'd you do it?
Para ello yo le digo, para venir a DxN, primero tienes que renacer.
So to achieve the DxN, you need to reborn.
Primero tienes que ser nueva persona para DxN.
You have to become a new people from DxN.
Sácate toda la información
You need to take out
que
all the
tienes
information.
anterior, pero hoy tienes que renacer y luego ser y luego hacer y luego tener. Es completo porque yo le agregué, la clave está en renacer.
So you need to reborn and make it successful.
Fuertes aplausos. Gracias a Dios, todo lo hago por mi familia. Muchas gracias a cada uno. Muchas gracias, Dr. Lee. Gracias a todos.
Let's give a round of applause to Mr. Pedro Pasa, directly from Peru. So, to continue with our program, I want you to okay, vamos a continuar con nuestro programa. And I want to continue with our next speaker. And I want you to receive one of the people who make the correct direction for the Latin market. And today with us is also one of our marketing directors directly from US. Let's welcome to Mr. Prajeet. Let's bring a round of applause to him.
Good morning. Good morning. Sit down, sit down, sit down. We don't have the whole day actually. You have to understand, like, I just got 5 minutes here. You heard already Mr. Pedro Pasa, Mr. Bernardo Cordomo from Mexico, from Peru. And these guys actually demonstrate why Latin America is doing so good. Among the top 5 nations, we have Peru as number 1, we have Mexico as number 3, closely, and now very soon perhaps Mexico is going to go to number 2, perhaps, we do not know.
No.
And perhaps number 1 if Peru is not moving faster.
Number 1.
So ladies and gentlemen, and then we have Bolivia at number 4, and Bolivia, ladies and gentlemen, is just the population of Bolivia. Muchas gracias. Tomen asiento, por favor. Tomen asiento. The population of Bolivia is just 10 million. You know what I'm saying? 10 million, and it's standing at the number 4 position. Peru, number 1, is only 30 million population. So, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm trying to say here, people ask me this question actually, why Latin America is doing so good? And I would like to share with you today, that's very important. I would like to share with you the success recipe, the Latin recipe for success. The Latin recipe for success, it contains 5 very important ingredients, 5 key ingredients. Number 1 is attitude. Ladies and gentlemen, these are those people who honestly follow the rules. These are those people who will follow you. They will have questions, of course, questions are very important, but they will go ahead and try the system. When we launched 100 PV system in Latin America, we started with Mexico. 100 PV is like 300 PV in Malaysia, 300 PV in the Gulf, 300 PV in Europe. How much is it? 3,000 in India. That means from the star agent and above, you have to follow 300 PV if you want to be a qualified star agent. Now, when we started this in Mexico, people would like to go ahead and try this system. They are not in a position to question. I mean, there are questions, of course, how, when, what are the results, and what are the consequences. Yes, they do have questions, but they are willing to go ahead and try the system to see whether it's a good system or not. And we know it's a good system as a company. DxN is not just born today or yesterday. DxN is a successful company for all these years in so many countries. So these people would like to go ahead and try the system. After we launched in Mexico, we decided to implement that in Peru, but not immediately because Peru was very young, we have very less products. So we introduced this system in Peru 3 years later. There was a section of people, of course everybody was willing to go ahead and try, but there was still a small group of people who were worried whether this is the right direction or not. There was this guy who even sent me an email. It was a long email, and all that he was trying to explain was why not to do this. And he was saying like, my people are very demotivated, they do not have enough money to make 300 PV and so on and so forth. I just replied to him that, have you tried the system? Do you know what is this? So without even trying the system, how do you come to a judgment? How do you jump the gun and start believing that this is something wrong? You should start doing it, you should start following it, and then you'll realize whether it is right or whether it is wrong. He told me, they do not have good income, they are young people, they do not have good income, and that's why it is difficult for them to do 300 PV. I said, the main reason we are launching 300 PV is to increase your income, to make sure your income gets multiplied. So try this system and then you will realize, and we do have a good success story to talk about back in Mexico because Mexico already implemented that. Then this guy started to follow this, and 2 years later this guy, the same person, he sent me an email about the same system, 300 PV. And this time there was no complaints, it was all about gratitude, it was all about thanking the whole thing because his group really grew, his production multiplied and his income was tremendously growing. We launched IOC. IOC was launched in 2014. And we launched unanimously everywhere actually, all throughout Latin America we launched. People were having so many questions, but they would go ahead and try the system. 300 PV, IOC, we launched webinars. Webinar was also very new. Many people, most of our guys from Bolivia, Peru and everybody are old school people. They do not know about internet, they do not know how to get connected, but they still went ahead and tried the system. Ladies and gentlemen, attitude plays a very important role in this business, and these people have great attitude. They will go ahead and try and see whether it works or not. Number one is attitude. Number two is passion. Ladies and gentlemen, these people are believers. Passion comes from believing. In this business, they believe Dr. Lim. They believe in his vision, they believe in his thoughts, they believe in his dreams, they believe in every word that comes out of him. Unconditional believing, ladies and gentlemen, and that's very, very important in this business. Dr. Lim is talking about his vision. He's not the person who just started the company. He has been starting the company for the last 25 years, and even before starting the company, he has been dreaming about it. And all these are like success stories going on around throughout the world, and these people are believing in it. They believe in him, they believe in the products, they believe in the cause of this business, they believe in the system, they believe in everything around in DxN. And because they are so much passionate about everything, ladies and gentlemen, they don't realize that the income is so much growing. They are so successful today. We have to let them know. Peru, you are number one. Do you realize that? Bolivia, you are number so on and so forth. We have to make them realize because they don't realize they are becoming number one. They are so passionate about everything around. Attitude, passion, love. The third ingredient, very important. Our crown ambassadors is not just they become crown ambassador and they just go to sleep. No. Now the work is to make other people see what they have seen. To make other people realize what they have realized. They also want to make more crown ambassadors. The other day I was telling Rafael, let's bring, a lot of crown ambassadors. Let's bring 30 crown ambassadors. No, 30, I want to bring 100 crown ambassadors. Today Dr. Lim said 1,000 crown ambassadors. Let me tell you, Dr. Lim, that next time, for the 30th anniversary, we will have so many crown ambassadors from this region because these people have taken that mission very seriously and they are here going back and going to make more crown ambassadors from the whole group. So ladies and gentlemen, love, because they treat the whole people like their own family. It's not just a business for them, it's more than a business for them, it's a family. And they want to see everybody grow in this business. So attitude, you have passion, you have love, and then you have vision. That is the fourth very important ingredient. Ladies and gentlemen, all these people have a good vision. I would like, basically, I keep asking people, Dr. Lim has set up so many factories. He has set up so many manufacturing facilities throughout the world. We have one big thing in Malaysia. We have huge facility. I've seen this facility growing all throughout for the last so many years. We have a huge facility in India. We have now facility in Mexico. We have a huge setup coming up already there in China. So many things are going on around the world. I ask people, why is it that Dr. Lim keeps on investing? So, people normally have this answer that it's because to cut down the cost, it's because to reduce the lead time, so on and so forth. But if I ask the same question to a Latin American, do you know what exactly they're going to answer?
No.
Edilia, let me ask you this question. Why is it that Dr. Lim has invested throughout the world? Why is it that he has set up so many factories around the world, in China, in Mexico, in India, so on? What is the main reason behind that?
¿Por qué razón Dr. Lim ha invertido tanto en diferentes partes del mundo? Ha hecho tanta inversión.
¿Por qué? ¿Por qué?
¿Por qué el Dr. Lim ha hecho tanta inversión en diferentes partes del mundo, en las fábricas, en todas las instalaciones de DxN? ¿Por qué ha hecho esa inversión?
Muchas gracias. Thank you. You know what she answered? He invested to secure the future of our families. And that's a visionary talk.